All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are kicking off this weekend, week 6 already in our 24 season, and we're going to take a close look at Texas A&M, which is hosting the 10th ranked, or excuse me, 9th ranked Missouri Tigers out of Columbia, Missouri. They'll be rolling into Kyle Field. That one's an early kick, and so I think that really plays. I think it should elevate how exciting that game is on a national level, because if you kind of look at the schedule, last week was Thanksgiving, all you can eat, Golden Corral buffet. This week, a little bit more like, yeah, you're waiting in line at your lunch, your cafe, and oh, maybe you find like that turkey on rye, or you see that pastrami that just has that right amount of. Well, anyways, so this weekend, still a lot of good football, but I think this might be one of the more closer, competitive, and significant games, especially as Missouri is ranked number 9 in the country, number 9. Missouri is riding an 8-game win streak. They were off last week. Their last 2 ball games against Boston College. That one I remember. BC was up. I remember listening to Billy O talk about that one. BC was up for most of that one, and I think Missouri pulled ahead. And then Vandy, that was 2 weeks ago. Again, Missouri's coming off their bye. Vandy just really battled them. I believe this game was close all the way. I don't recall watching it or keeping track or tabs on it. And I think Cook connected with Luther, their stud receiver. You got a veteran quarterback and an All-American wide receiver anchoring Missouri. Big thing with Missouri is just the success they've had recently. Coach Drink is doing a phenomenal job in year 5. Quick. It's a little bit bigger than football sometimes, and you turn on the press conference, listen to what Coach Drink had to say, and he's his heart, because he knows that Carolina community. He was at Appalachian State before landing this job here at Missouri, and his just expressing concern and bringing attention to folks who got hit by this hurricane, which just went through the eastern part of the country. So you got the Western Carolina area and also East Tennessee. So just kind of shows you the kind of guy he is, the character. Obviously, no one's questioning or doubting that. So I think we got to give a little time and attention for that. But so little bye week for Missouri. They're riding an 8-game win streak. Highlighted probably, I enjoy saying this because I remember tracking this game. Wasn't able to watch it. Is the coming off the Cotton Bowl victory this December right here in Texas at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where they defeated your Big Ten representative, Ohio State, or as they say in Ann Arbor, the team down south, or I like to say, the team from Columbus. That team from Columbus. Yeah, I think they outscored them 10-0 in the fourth quarter there. So certainly more of a Big Ten ball game than a modern day 50-0 shootout by college football standards. So once again, Missouri is playing really, really good both sides of the ball. They're boasting the number 3 total defense, and the in the red zone critical area for the game of football is won and lost. Doesn't matter if you're in the Super Bowl or if you're JV football game on a Friday night. You got to convert in the red zone. You got to get points. So Missouri is 19 out of 20. I'm not good at math, but last time I checked, if you do a quick 19 times 5, that's 95% they're converting. I don't know what their touchdown percentage is, but I think that's a tribute to a veteran quarterback, good weapons, and proven success, playing with a lot of confidence. And I think when you win close games like they've done against Vanderbilt and BC, you've been battle tested. You don't have to worry about, are we for real, or if you're really legit, or you might even hear it in the hometown media, just people nitpicking you. So there's something to say coming off 2 close wins. Of course, from a national perspective, people may be thinking, oh man, Missouri, they struggled against Vandy, because people want you to win 100-0. Folks, we are not in that. What do they even call that in Florida State? Oh, BCS. We're not in the BCS era anymore. We're not even in the 14 playoff. You can probably, especially in the Southeastern Conference, probably lose a game or two. And you don't, I mean, you saw that in Coach Smart and the look in all these Georgia players' faces last week. Of course, it was such a brilliant and thrilling game. It's one for the ages, classic. But when it comes to the end of the season, what your goals are, it's probably not going to be that significant. The same can be said for Ole Miss, who dropped a close one at home playing UK. And so I think I've covered a lot about Missouri. And let's talk about the Aggies. And the Aggies are kind of quietly putting together a nice little stretch here. They started the season, a big-time prime game against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And that was a great game. I had the privilege to attend that one. Night game, Kyle Field, 12th man. That was incredible. And, of course, the Domers, those who, whether you're an alumni or you're a lifelong fan of Notre Dame, you're a Domer. But that's just such a great atmosphere. 104,000, fourth largest attendance in history at Kyle Field. So what a blessing and a privilege. Notre Dame eked out the win in that one. That one, A&M kind of struggled on offense, and I think that's something that carried into the following week. There was a quarterback change, moving on from Connor Wegman. I believe he had some kind of an elbow ailment or something bothering him. He wasn't listed as out in these recent games. I believe he was suited up in this past week's game versus the Woo-Pig-Sooie Arkansas Razorbacks. So look at that. So second game of the year, Aggies make a switch, and it's great seeing that out of a first-year head coach, Coach Elko. He was at Duke the last 2 years. He's already 4-1. Won 3 games in a row, but had to make that tough decision there. Fun fact, there's always like a tie, whether it's a coach or even something in the university athletic director that always plays a part in any game, any big-time Division I matchup. But the starting quarterback for A&M, and on the depth chart, I believe it's listed, it could be Wegman or it could be Marcel Reed. But as it's stated, and I learned this from Coach Drink, he brought attention to this, is that the quarterback for Missouri has a sister, the quarterback for A&M, the Aggies, 12th man, has a sister who works on the football staff as a recruiting, I think she handles on-campus recruiting for the Missouri Tigers. So fun little tie-in, learned that, credit to Coach Drink on that one. And so the story of the A&M season is after that first game, maybe, again, not like they played poorly or not a disappointing loss by any means. Notre Dame certainly is looking, they dropped that game to Northern Illinois, but looking back at that one, I don't think anybody is discounting, is looking at with a negative prism at how both teams came out of that one. But again, and it was 23-13, but everyone kind of gives you that handicap when you're a first-year head coach like Elko is. You don't have to criticize and nitpick. You get a little feel out, period. And so one thing the Aggies are doing really well is pounding that rock, running the football. They are averaging, what did I have here? They have the 13th rushing attack in the country. Oh, that doesn't sound right. No, they're 10th. Yeah, they're 10th in FBS, I believe. So Aggies, really good defense. That's kind of Mike Elko's calling card. All these defenses he ran over the years. Last year at Duke, they had a top 5 national rankings in total defense. And then they're winning the turnover margin. That's always the number one stat I look to after every Saturday, all these games. I want to see who's winning that turnover margin. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a winning record. And it also kind of just shows if at least you may be a median or team on the rise, but if you're winning that turnover battle, if you can stop the run and gain some efficiency on offense, good things are in your future. Good things are in your future. So don't have to win every single statistical category, but win some of the critical ones and good things. Winning football, as I believe, who likes saying that? That is a Jim Harbaugh quote. Coach Harbaugh, who's got it better than us? So Aggies are winning the turnover margin. They are 16th in the country in that. They have 7 picks, number 1 in the SEC. in that category, and they're playing well. So three wins in a row. The last one was a thriller, the Southwest Classic over there. That's an annual game every single year. The Razorbacks and the Aggies. And I remember I kind of was watching all the games, and Arkansas scored first. Looked like they kind of might run away from that one. And Aggies won turnover margin 3-0 in that game. So they were always in it, pulled ahead, and held on for the win there. So I think I really boil it down to I'm thinking about the psychology. I like thinking about the psychology of this team, or maybe even pressure from the outside. I do want to say this kind of is interesting. This is an SEC game, right? Texas A&M, 12th man. In their eyes, in their mind, they're the number one public school in Texas. Don't tell the folks in Austin that I said that. But I'm looking at ticket prices, and it's looking very affordable, cheaper than I was expecting. And again, I believe it's because it's an 11 a.m. kick. So if you're tailgating, you got to get up at 6, 7 a.m. The one nice thing is if you're the away team, you can get back at a decent time. So that's always nice. Have dinner at home, or see some family, things like that. But again, for the start of the game, I think because Missouri's coming off a bye week, and they've won 8 games in a row. And again, this is their first away game. And what better way to have an away game to really get the players ready than to go to Kyle Field? 102 screaming fans. You got the yell leaders. You got the band. You got Reveille, their mascot, who is almost a demigod. Almost a demigod, not a demagogue, a demigod for that campus and those crazy Aggie fans. So I believe Missouri will be fired up, ready to roll. I think for A&M, again, winning 3 in a row, certainly we'll see if Elko decides to make a change at quarterback, maybe go back to the veteran. You always, in this case, when you have Missouri, you got to give the edge to Brady Cook, versus Reed or Wegman. But maybe Elko slept on it, decides to make a change. We'll see. That could certainly be a surprise or a head turner. Regardless, A&M's won 3 games in a row. The first home SEC game. So even though it's at 11 a.m., I think the team's going to be just sprinting out that tunnel when you hear power just wailing over the sirens. And I'm going to be in my seat. I'm going to be early. And Trev Alberts, if you're listening to this, or if we could, Board of Regents, those with ties to BRYAN-COLLEGE station. I saw that Texas A&M officially, you are allowed to say that Texas A&M is located in BRYAN-COLLEGE station. Used to have to say maybe just College Station. I think that's where actual campus is. But a lot of these true campus towns, it splits down the middle, or you got a river. So why not pay tribute to that? But Trev Alberts, athletic director at A&M. The last time I was at Kyle Field, I had to wait. Now, granted, there's 104,000 people. So I get that at any given time, there's 10,000 people here, 10,000 people there, yada, yada. I had to wait 30 minutes in line. This is before the Notre Dame game. The line didn't move. And the reason the line didn't move is because there's no crowd control. There's no set, okay, you start waiting here. And again, it was that south corner where the students are entering. So very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. And again, I don't know how you have 102,000 people filter in and out with all the ramps and finding their seats. But I do know this. I've been to, handful of SEC games now. OU and Norman, that's 80,000. They got a little bit of a traffic jam, but actually it's very crowded in there. But at least when you're at least you can get to your section and you just wait, muddle through the traffic. That one is more going around the stadium. But man, at A&M, it took, 30, 40, it just took forever. It's like Moses leading the Israelites through the Red Sea just to get upstairs. And then even coming down at the very top 400 section, coming down at the end of the game, again, 40, 45 minutes just to get down. Because it's so many levels, and it's so many people, and it's so cramped. I do want to remind folks that going to a game at DKR in Austin, got to our seat sitting well at the top, 5 minutes. So I'm not sure how that works with crowd control, big game, congestion, small issue. Big deal though if you've never been there. So if you've never been to College Station, definitely plan on getting there early. We are sitting in a different section this time, a little maybe not quite as high up. I'm sure that could impact it. If you're asking me to make a pick, man, like I said, I believe both teams are going to come up fired up, ready to play. First home game for A&M, for SEC. They've already racked up 2 SEC wins. And for Missouri, or if you're a baby boomer, you could say Missouri. For Missouri, having that coming off a bye week, so getting healthy, getting extra practice reps, and then coming off a double overtime win against Vandy. So your confidence is high, and you are so excited. I tell you this, everyone who's gone through the ringer, coaching, playing as a fan, when you have 4 or 5 home games in a row at home, sure, it's an advantage, right? Your team's gonna be there, and you don't have to worry or doubt that, and you kind of get locked in. But I think we're all in this business for away games. That's where we want to play our best football. We want to go against the best opponents, the best coaches, and the best conference, and the biggest games in the biggest moment. So these away games certainly fire up, especially when it's the first one of the year, and especially in a venue like Kyle Field, the home of your 12th man. So don't ask me. I believe the Aggies are favored by a point or two. Rankings don't matter. Certainly, who's playing? Both teams are playing well, and like I always say, who shows up? Who is, if A&M wins the turnover margin, I'm sure it'll be a 1-score game, no doubt. And make your bets however you feel courting, and might be a little hot, but man, I'm enjoying this October 90-degree weather in Texas. Thanks for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. God bless America.